arguing today over the release of police body camera footage. And at one point, things get so heated, the judge calls for a recess. Here's how it played out today in court.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not hearing any reason why you can't be prepared. In other words, I asked you if you needed to redepose the witness whose body cam footage was not turned over timely, and you said no.
No, I did not say that. I said, Judge, let me finish with the other arguments, and then we can address whether or not I want to redepose.
Okay, well,
there are several issues.
Ms. McNeill, let me talk, please.
Well, you're misquoting me, Judge.
Ms. McNeill, I said, are you asking this court to redepose the witness? And maybe you said not at this time, but then I said, is there anything else on Defense of 49? And both sides said no. And I said, let's move on. So
then we need to readdress 49 and perhaps
okay,
we
you need to take it down a notch.
Judge, you are putting words into my mouth.
You are being disrespectful.
Judge, I have to repeat myself for you so that you can understand what I'm saying. I will provide
Ms. McNeill, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. You need to take a deep breath and have sit down or whatever it is, but you're being disrespectful, and I'm not going to be talked to in this way. We're in recess for 5 minutes.
Well, that exchange between Assistant Public Defender Melissa McNeill and Circuit Judge Elizabeth Scherer, the confessed shooter Nicholas Cruz is there in court for the hearing. His lawyers say the state is being slow about turning over evidence, but prosecutors maintain that they are not hiding anything. Cruz is charged with killing 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. He has pleaded not guilty, but his attorneys say they would change that to a guilty in exchange for a life sentence. However, prosecutors are still seeking the death penalty.
A public defender punched in the back of the head by an inmate. The entire incident caught on camera. This happened during a normal bond hearing for a different inmate, the blow catching the public defender completely off guard.
CBS 4's Peter Dench is live in Fort Lauderdale, where he spoke to the public defender about the incident. Peter.
Well, Ruta Bay Broward public defender Howard Finklestein tells me that he's been with the public defender's office more than 40 years, and this has never happened before. He says this case is sending shockwaves through his office. Now, Julie Chase tells me that she's okay, but she was knocked to the ground violently.
It happened suddenly as 27-year-old William Green uses his left fist to punch Assistant Public Defender Julie Chase on the side of her head. She slumps to the ground. Bailiffs and deputies restrain Green as Chase is rushed to the hospital, where we spoke with her.
We're so sorry. How are you feeling at this point?
I'm doing okay. It was just a bit of a shock. I didn't expect it, but I'm doing okay.
Does it hurt you that people you're trying to help that this
I have
happened to you?
nothing else to say about that. Thank you.
Chase's mother says her daughter has no idea why this happened.
You might feel very well to get a phone call at work hearing that your daughter's been smashed in the face by somebody in court. Just nervous. She said she didn't know what happened for a couple of minutes.
Chief Assistant Public Defender Gordon Weeks Jr. says this could have been prevented.
I am outraged at the lack of security, the lack of protocols, the lack of ability to identify and appropriately handle people that are experiencing mental illness.
Weeks says Green was arrested Monday for a similar attack on a patient technician at Florida Medical Center, hitting that person in the face and body. An arrest report says Green was admitted as a Baker Act because of his severe violent history.
If he were properly assessed, they probably would have called his case at the end of the docket in a more secure fashion with a little bit more personnel to ensure that this would not have occurred.
In an exclusive interview with CBS 4's Jim DeFeeti, Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney says those concerns will be addressed.
Because I'm not going to have another public defender harmed on our watch. And so if that requires us to ensure that folks are handcuffed, if it ensures that we reduce the amount of people that are coming in at once before they have an opportunity to speak to the magistrate, we'll take those steps.
Now, Gordon Weeks says he's sending a letter to the sheriff saying that errors must be fixed. Green, meanwhile, faces additional charges. Howard Finklestein, though, says due to this latest attack, his office will not be representing Green in this latest case. We're live at the Broward Courthouse. Peter Nash, CBS 4 News.